Just as Elisa never mentioned that Afi was in our room that night, I did not reveal what I'd seen in Fata's handwriting in the Bible. For a while, it was hard to bear, and, as one feels about an itch that screams to be scratched, there were times when I ached to disclose my pain. What, though, would I have achieved by doing so? How would sharing my suffering ease it? I said nothing. Instead, I watched my father closely, looking for signs of dissatisfaction with me. I found none. Sometimes I wondered if I'd imagined what I had read. Then I'd pass the study, see the book on the desk in big, solid reality, and again experience the cold whip of truth. I held my shame close, but it didn't shield me from my affection for Fata. I'd cared for him all my life, and when the shock of his words wore off, as it did, my love for him remained. So too did my interest in his business. He was unaware that anything might have changed, and for as long as I was attentive, Fata regaled me with the details I hungered for. His projects intrigued me, and as he spoke, I became so caught up that my questions tumbled out like a waterfall in flood. Even if I'd been inclined to sulk, my inquisitiveness did not allow it. I was still Bertha. It didn't matter that I was only a girl. So it was that for almost 2 years, nothing around me seemed changed, even if, when I gave in to reflection, I knew everything had. Then, Fata began taking Karl to work with him regularly. "I see how hard it is for you," said Mutter, when she came upon me in the hallway one morning. Fata and Karl were closeted in the study, examining, I guessed, the building plans for the cellar my father had described to me some weeks earlier. School was closed for summer, and although I'd begun work on my trousseau, I didn't feel like being indoors and was on my way to the drawing room to try to tempt Elisa to walk along the river with me. I was surprised by my mother's comment. "What do you mean?" I asked. Mutter took my hands in hers. Although she wasn't yet showing evidence of it, my mother was pregnant with Tekla. She'd broken the news while Emilia, Elisa, and I were alone with her the previous day. Fata, she had said, was overjoyed. An 8th child. What a woman he'd married, he'd exclaimed. How weary she looks, I'd thought. She might have been 22 years younger than Fata, but it seemed she aged faster with every child she brought into the world.